commit the crime. This series then transitions from questioning whether he did it to exploring the more haunting question of why. Investigators uncover Jamie's engagement with incel, involuntary celibate culture, and Manosphere content online. We learn that Jamie had approached Katie after a topless photo of her was circulated among classmates via Snapchat. His disturbing reasoning: "I just thought that she might be weak. I thought when she was that weak, she might like me." After Katie rejected him, she sent Instagram messages with emojis labeling him an incel. Jamie's online activities reveal his exposure to misogynistic content, including his admiration for Andrew's 80-20 theory, and the idea that 80% of women are attracted to 20% of men.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode here on the Bridge Reacts, and I'm your host here on the channel on this lovely day, Marcus. Thank you so much for stopping by to see another episode here on the Bridge, where we believe in long-lasting relationships, stronger families, stronger connections between men and women. We are waving the white flag, rejecting the whole gender war bullshit. We're not doing that here. We believe in bridging the gap between the genders, whatever you want to call it. If you like what we talk about here on the channel, please subscribe, like button, notification bell as well. Welcome to the channel. Really appreciate you so much. Today's topic, we are talking about a Netflix series called Adolescence. If you haven't already seen the TV series on Netflix, please check it out before you watch this video. If you're interested, we are talking about a lot when it comes to this Netflix series, so full disclosure, going to be a lot of spoilers here, but basically talking about the Manosphere or red pill content and how it is affecting young boys, young men in schools, even when it comes to an adolescent level, middle school. And the video today, the real story behind Adolescence Netflix series explained. This is from the Marvelous Videos YouTube channel. Please check out the original content creator. I'll leave my final thoughts for the very end of the video. Let's get to it.
And at 9:47 p.m., same place, walking in the same direction, is you, Jamie.
Netflix's limited series Adolescence has dominated the streaming platform since its March 13, 2025 release, quickly claiming the #1 spot worldwide. This 4-part psychological drama, directed by Philip Barantini and co-directed by Stephen Graham and Jack Thorne, has captivated audiences with its unflinching portrayal of youth violence. Through its innovative, single-take episodes and powerful performances, the series explores the disturbing The
performances were extremely powerful, extraordinary. They were really good. Like, it's British, but it's great. It was a great show. I personally believe it was a great show. I liked it a lot. I'll leave it for my final thoughts to get to it.
Section of online radicalization, toxic masculinity, and teenage vulnerability. The story of Adolescence. Spoilers ahead.
Hello, I'm editing Marcus here on the Bridge Reacts, Bridge Between Us, the Bridge, the channel that you are watching today. And I want to talk about today's sponsor. It won't take long at all. If you need some kind of mobile detailing instead of driving far and wide looking for someone who is reliable, who has great customer satisfaction, how about call somebody or text somebody who will come to you? And they do exactly that. When it comes to cars, trucks, vans, motorcycles, even marine vehicles, if it's a vehicle, holler at them, check them out, text them or call them at this number right here, 804-204-9028. That's 804-204-9028. He'll get you right, man. Make sure that your vehicle is sparkling, looking nice, inside and outside. He got you. Thank you so much for Royal Treatment Mobile Detailing for sponsoring today's video. Back to the video.
Adolescence begins with police breaking into the home of 13-year-old Jamie Miller, brilliantly portrayed by newcomer Owen Cooper, to arrest him for
it's a terrible accent. Oh, sorry.
Of his classmate Katie. Initially, both Jamie and his parents, Eddie, Stephen Graham, and Mandy, vehemently deny his involvement, convinced there must be a mistake. After the first episode concludes, however, footage from the school reveals the shocking truth: Jamie did commit the crime. This series then transitions from questioning whether he did it to exploring the more haunting question of why. Investigators uncover Jamie's engagement with incel, involuntary celibate culture, and Manosphere content online. We learn that Jamie had approached Katie after a topless photo of her was circulated among classmates via Snapchat. His disturbing reasoning: "I just thought that she might be weak. I thought when she was that weak, she might like me." After Katie rejected him, she sent Instagram messages with emojis labeling him an incel. Jamie's online activities reveal his exposure to misogynistic content, including his admiration for Andrew's 80-20 theory, and the idea that 80% of women are attracted to 20% of men.
And pause it here for just a second. It's going to be a shorter video for sure this time. Okay. They reference Andrew. I don't even know if I could say his name. Editing Marcus might have to take out the name and just put a picture on here. But yeah, they referenced that guy, Voldemort, and they've referenced the Manosphere, Red Pill content. And the thing about that, my personal take on it, I'll leave it for the end of the video. Stop talking, Marcus.
The third episode features a powerful therapy session between Jamie and therapist Aaron Doherty, where his repeated pleas to tell Dad I'm right reveal his desperate need for paternal validation. This highlights how his actions stem not from just online radicalization, but from deeper emotional issues with a seemingly normal family. True story or fiction? The real-life inspirations. The creators of Adolescence have been clear that the series is not based on a single true case. Rather, it draws inspiration from a troubling pattern of knife crimes involving young boys and girls in the UK and beyond. Stephen Graham explained that the idea originated from...
This guy, Stephen Graham, is what he said. He played the father of Jamie. Phenomenal performance. He was great as the father. Like, shout out to him. Great performance.
Several tragic cases. There was an incident in Liverpool. A young girl, and she was stabbed to death by a young boy. I just thought, why? Then there was another girl in South London who was stabbed to death at a bus stop. And there was this thing up north, where that young girl Brianna guy was lured into the park by two teenagers and they stabbed her. I just thought, what's going on? The series arrives amid alarming statistics about youth violence. In March 2023 alone, the UK recorded almost 18,500 cautions and convictions for knife possession, with 17.3% of offenders being ages 10 and 17. This epidemic of knife crime among young people, particularly boys targeting girls, served as the foundational inspiration for the series. Jack Thorne, who co-wrote the series with Graham, was also influenced by Gitta Sereni's book, Cries Unheard, Why Children Kill, about 11-year-old Mary Bell's murders in the 1960s, which explored not just the crimes, but the factors that led to them. Real cases that echo adolescence. Several real cases bear striking similarities to Jamie and Katie's fictional story. Hexham, England, 2024, 15-year-old Holly Newton was stabbed repeatedly by a 16-year-old boy who she alleged was stalking her. The case shocked the community, with its seemingly senseless violence between classmates. In South London, 2023, a 17-year-old girl was stabbed to death after she refused flowers from a boy while walking to school with friends. The rejection-fueled violence parallels Jamie.
That's okay. We shouldn't have to say this on the channel. Of course, we obviously denounce this kind of incel behavior, right? This, like, you know, just because a woman, a young girl in this case, because they're basically middle schoolers in the TV show and what they're talking about here, this example, if someone rejects you, take it to the chin. It's okay. You're not for everybody. And that goes to anyone, men, not just little boys, men as well, even women, girls. If a man rejects you, he doesn't want anything to do with you. It's okay. You don't win every battle. You don't win every feat. You don't win every kind of interaction where you want something to go your way. It's okay. It's life at the end of the day. But especially us as boys and men, we need to understand and, you know, channel those emotions into something else, bettering ourselves, working out, bettering our crafts, create something positive that, you know, adds value to the world. We should not be channeling that to violence because someone doesn't want to be with you. They reject your flower. I've had flowers and candy and stuff like that rejected as a kid or, like, you know, a teen trying to oppress a young girl. In my mind, it was maybe embarrassment and, like, you know, feeling rejected, and that, you know, it kind of hurts, but it's like, that's life. You're going to be rejected. It's a part of life, you know, and channeling that, having real true masculine figures there to help young boys navigate that adolescence so they don't channel that emotion into violence, so they are more disciplined, so that they can work on themselves and be better men, because we need men to be masculine. We need real men out here to teach young boys that it's okay to be rejected, work on yourself, and stand, you know, just focus on you, man. If she doesn't want you, she doesn't want you. You don't act in violence. That is some real cuck incel behavior.
Amy's reaction to Katie's dismissal. The issue extends beyond the UK. In Oklahoma City, 2018, a 14-year-old boy stabbed his female classmate during a school assembly after she told him she liked him only as a friend. Similarly, in Connecticut, 2014, 16-year-old Marin Sanchez was fatally stabbed by a classmate after declining his prom invitation. These cases highlight a disturbing pattern of violence.
This video became a little bit more depressing than I thought it was going to be.
Perpetrated by young males following romantic rejection, a central theme in Adolescence.
Do you know how many times she was Jamie?
No. 7 times.
The Manosphere and online radicalization. Adolescence meticulously examines how online communities can radicalize vulnerable young men. The series explores the Manosphere, websites, forums, and content promoting toxic masculinity and misogyny. Figures like Andrew, explicitly referenced in the series, have gained massive...
Quick pause here. I truly believe that the Manosphere, Red Pill content creation, stuff like that, creators, they were originally meant, just like, you know, first wave of feminism, just like Black Lives Matter, there was a positive intent to it originally, and then it became politicized, it became a grift, it became a bunch of just noise and just BS that is just dividing the genders, dividing people, and destroying young men and women. Of course, when it comes to media, TV shows, being a very soft, emotional boy, and men who are just not masculine like that, and just showing that masculinity is a bad thing, it's toxic by, you know, just by being masculine. We need masculine men. We need masculine boys to protect our community, protect our women, to build things, infrastructures, to pass on those same traits to younger boys so they don't end up like this, hurting and young women because they were rejected. That isn't real masculinity. Real masculinity is keeping boys in check so they can actually be real men. That's what true masculinity is. And I think the Red Pill space and Manosphere space originally was like that, or supposed to be. That's how they, you know, disguised it as. Like a lot of creators who are very polarizing, such as Andrew, again, I don't know if I can say his name, Voldemort, we'll call him Voldemort, and Fresh and Fit, Pearly Things. There's a few other creators out there that are just saying the stupidest things, trying to tell men how to be men when they act like boys themselves. It's crazy. I don't get it. But it's a grift now. Those are my takes. I'm gonna stop talking.
The 80-20 theory that Jamie mentions is a popular concept in incel communities, suggesting that most women pursue only the most attractive men, leaving the majority of males rejected and frustrated. The timing of adolescence is particularly relevant, coinciding with increasing concern about young men being radicalized by online content creators who offer simplistic explanations for complex social and emotional issues.
I can see that.
The series shows how Jamie's vulnerability and desire for belonging make him susceptible to these harmful ideologies.
That night, I didn't touch her.
Systemic failure and shared responsibility. Rather than portraying Jamie as simply a bad kid, Adolescence examines the various systems that failed both him.
He's an aggressor too. Like he, you know, killed a young girl, but he's a victim as well. Two things can be true.
Him and Katie. Despite being loving parents, Eddie and Mandy miss crucial signs of Jamie's online radicalization. They provide him with a computer, but fail to monitor his activities, assuming his withdrawal is normal teenage behavior. Eddie's passive neglect is particularly poignant. Though he doesn't physically abuse Jamie as his own father did to him, he creates an environment where his emotions and anger take priority, teaching Jamie problematic lessons about masculinity.
Exactly.
The school environment is depicted as chaotic and understaffed, with adults struggling to maintain control and address problematic behaviors before they escalate. One Reddit user described it as a chilling dystopian depiction of a typical English school. The ease with which Jamie accesses misogynistic content raises questions about the responsibility of social media platforms and content creators. Meanwhile, adequate mental health support is noticeably absent until after.
As a content creator, and I don't like using that term, I feel so corny saying that, but I do create content. I'm a creator, I do all this myself, so I am a content creator, whatever. As a content creator, I do have a responsibility. That's why I try to hold, myself to a standard, hold myself accountable. And you as the viewer, please hold me accountable. Give me that feedback as well. I need it so I can say the right things, pass on the right information and message. That's what it's all about. But we have a duty as a content creator on this space, on the platforms, because other people are watching and it affects other people who are internalizing and seeing this content. So you need to make sure that you are moving in the right direction in a positive way as much as you can. Everyone is biased to a degree. We all have our own biases, but it's like we have to do better. As creators, the youth are also watching us, believe it or not. Even if you're not trying to, have a young audience. I'm gonna get to my final thoughts. I'm already here, right? My final thoughts, right? If you are a content creator, you are more than likely going to still have a young audience to a degree. There are young individuals who are going to watch some of your content, especially if it is going very viral. You're going to have young people watching it too. And it is our duty to create content that is beneficial for society, humanity, for the young men out here, young boys, and who are watching and internalizing what you're saying so that they can be better young men and grow up to be great men in society and help us build and pass on the right information and show what true masculinity, the positive ways of masculinity is supposed to be for society, for our, our community, our daughters, our women out here, our wives, sisters, our sons, and make sure that they don't do what, Jamie was doing here on this TV show. And the 80-20 rule, stuff like that, like in the incel stuff, like to a degree, bear with me on this one. On online spaces, there have been studies that Eddie Marcus put on the screen. I think it's been misinterpreted to a degree, actually, to be fair, but there have been studies where a lot of women who are swiping right on like Tinder and Bumble or whatever, they are like 80% of the women are typically going for the top percentage of men who are more attractive, who seem more interesting, who seem to have their life together to a degree. And then the rest, I don't know if it's really 80-20. I don't think it's that much of a polarizing difference. The rest of the men who aren't as attractive physically, who aren't, doing a lot for themselves, who aren't posting great pictures or seeming interesting on those platforms, because that matters. Your caption, your picture, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you are taking care of yourself, and then posting that on those websites or those dating sites. If you're not doing that, you're not gonna get the high pick of the litter that you want. You're probably gonna get no swipes at all, or probably women that you're not as attracted to. There's some truth to that, to be fair. Yet I don't think it's as polarizing as 80-20. And in real life, like IRL, real life situations, I don't really know if that's true either. Because if you're a young boy or a man, and again, I'm not saying that I know all the ins and outs of all this. I'm not. I'm only 30 years old. I'm learning myself. But if you are taking care of yourself, if you are, great hygiene, you're going to the gym, working on your physical, your strength, your mental strength, that is so much more important than you think it is. Your mental strength, your ability to have some discipline, being able to have some kind of passions, be able to build yourself up. Yes, make some money because you need to be some kind of financial stability to a degree if you want to take care of your family and be there for your lady. Sure, of course. But it's just more, it's deeper than that. It's not just your physical attraction. Yes, ladies do like an attractive dude, but if you're a dude that has personality, you know how to take care of yourself, you stand up, you're good with your hands, you're able to, catch eyes in the room with not just your looks, but your personality and your assertiveness, your aura to a degree, what they call it these days. You will get a lot of attraction from that. And it's not always about your physical attraction, who's what they call it, a Chad versus being a dweeb or something. I don't know this talk, bro. I just know this incel BS that Jamie was basically acting as in the movie. And the actor that was Jamie in this TV show, movie, whatever, he was phenomenal too, man. Like, he was playing that role. Like, shout out to the actor, because there were times I'm like, yo, he is disturbed. He is very disturbed. But those are my takes, man. I think that, yes, there is some truth to this. There are individuals who are probably, we've seen the evidence. There have been cases in the UK specifically, probably here in America, let's be honest, where young boys are being very violent to young girls because they're being rejected, or they're not seen as attractive. And young girls are just saying, I'm not attracted to you. I don't want you. And then young men are turning to violence. That's wrong. Again, we need masculine figures to tell young boys, put them in check and show them that that is not the way. Don't channel that emotion to violence. Channel that emotion to working better on yourself, having some discipline, and building yourself up. Because the women will come. The girls will come. You just work on yourself. They'll come, right? But those are my thoughts. Give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Really appreciate you. Once again, please, if you haven't already watched the TV show, you've already been spoiled enough. If you've seen this whole thing and you haven't watched the show, please watch it anyways. It is still visually great. Great show, well shot. A lot of like one take shots that are continuous, which I love that. As someone who is a very amateur videographer and content creator, I love that. My girl and I, we watched it together. It was a great show. I think leaves you wanting more because it's only 4 episodes, man. It was great. I think it should be like 5 or 6 at least. But great show. Check it out. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Really appreciate you. You guys have a nice one. See ya.